Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining me. I'm excited about tonight, our fourth educational video webinar on HOLOS. I'm Debbie Hart, the owner of RedHealth. Tonight we'll be covering the topic all about the HOLOS revolutionary personalized scan and talking all about its customized background program support. Can everybody hear me okay? We've got the chat and the Q&A open. You can throw a comment or a question in either one. I've got both open. Just let me know if you can hear me okay. You can see the screen. Everything's good. Thank you. Awesome. For all of those who are listening later, I'm thrilled to have you as well. I know a lot of people are busy and can't make it, but I'm excited about presenting this information and sharing it with everybody. I hope you've had a chance, those of you who have been with RedHealth for a while, to already watch the HOLOS intro, the HOLOS boost, and the HOLOS 24/7 program webinar. This is our final educational webinar, all about the revolutionary personalized scan. They're all on the website under menu webinars, and the website is RedHealth Wear. That's WEAR.com. They help provide a more in-depth look at HOLOS, its features and benefits, how it works, and most importantly, how you can optimize its usage. Before we get started, and I'll jump right in, I do need to read the disclaimer, if you can bear with me for just a minute. The words that will be used on today's call that may coincide with medical terms such as diagnosis, patient-client therapy, treatment, are not to be interpreted in a legal sense. The products and processes, procedures referred to and mentioned have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to treat, prevent, mitigate, or cure any medical, emotional, or psychological conditions, or to support or sustain human life, or to prevent impairment of human health. It is for self-education purposes only. No medical, health, healing, or other related claims are intended or asserted. We claim no typical results exist, and what you may experience from using the same device or devices mentioned may be completely different from someone else. The statements made on this call are entirely the views of the individuals making those statements or claims. So with that said, let's get started. I'm going to have a live Q&A at the end. If you have questions in the meanwhile, feel free to throw them up. I've got both the chat and the Q&A open, and you should on your little panel bar be able to open both chat and Q&A. So these are the primary elements of tonight's session, which will focus on the personalized scan feature of the HOLOS device. The HOLOS device is our Gen 3 device. HOLOS means in Greek, be whole. And I'm going to talk tonight about how the HOLOS personalization works, take a deeper dive into the actual elements of the scan, how the intensity level works with the personalization function, how the automatic versus manual scan features work, along with other details on screens for customizing your device, when you might want to run a manual or interim scan, and then we'll have a live Q&A at the end. So before we get started with the actual focus on the personalized scan, I'd like to kind of get up and take a bird's eye view of the entire set of automatic PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic frequency programs, which includes the personalized programs from the scan. In HOLOS, our Gen 3 device, which is built on the foundation of the Gen 2 C balance. Many of you have had the C balance, the 2 button, as well as then the 1 button. But our Gen 3 HOLOS device has new and powerful software and hardware features, but it's built completely on the foundation of the C balance. All wellness and well-being support is now automatic, 24/7, on an ongoing basis in HOLOS, except for the manual boost programs, which is a huge change. So that's a huge part of tonight, the scan. Everything is automatic now. This means that not only do Do the 7-day background programs that come with each device run targeted frequencies and magnetic energy patterns at optimum times of the day and night. But the personalized scan also now runs automatically at midnight every 3 weeks, calibrating and scheduling customized programs for the user based on that user's highest energy priorities. So from this bird's eye view of HOLOS, here we see the 3 levels of daily PEMF support that HOLOS offers, with the first being the automatic 7-day programs. Those start the minute you turn the device on. And then number 2 is the automatic personalized programs. These 2 sets of PEMF and adaptive resonant energy programs are automatically combined into a weekly schedule of wellness and well-being support programs, with day 7 being a day of rest for all automatic background programs to give the body a timeout to integrate and assimilate everything from the week. Some people still choose to run boost programs from level 3 here on day 7, but otherwise it's an automatic day of rest from all the automatic background program energy field support. You see automatic next to the personalized programs, as there is no longer a need to remember to scan to create a new set of personalized programs every 21 days, as HOLOS automatically scans, calibrates, and schedules out 3 weeks of personalized programs on an ongoing basis. As part of the 7-day automatic background programs, HOLOS has 3 separate automatic programs that run optimally timed and targeted PEMF programs intermittently throughout the day and night, every few hours, in sync with the Chinese body clock and meridians. The default 24/7 program is circadian balance. This is what comes set on the device when you purchase it, which includes the stress release program. With HOLOS, the 7-day automatic program choice can be scaled down to just stress release or scaled up to the 9-week PTSD depression program, which includes the 2 other programs here. So when PTSD depression 9-week program is turned on in the automatic program, in the 24/7 program screen, it also includes the circadian balance and stress release. So you're not losing either one of these. Each step you go up, you get the programs below it automatically running and incorporated. This is done using setup, personalized 24 program, and highlighting your program of choice. So it comes set already, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to change it, you go into setup, personalize, 24/7 program, and highlight your program of choice. This is also shown in the full features video for HOLOS and in the user's guide. So just wanted to refresh everybody's memory, because we're talking about tonight the entire set of automatic programs. So these are a part of what the personalized programs get added to. And in that level 1 support, just remember that they run over a 7-day cycle, and different combinations are used each day. The body doesn't like repetitive energy and information. So HOLOS dynamically changes every day its combination of programs, as well as its intensities, which we'll see in just a few minutes. But every day it gently but steadily helps the body naturally reestablish its balanced state and increase the feeling of well-being. At the end of the 7 days, the 7th day being a rest day, these background programs start over again from day 1. These programs, alongside the personalized programs, do all the heavy lifting in HOLOS as they work systemically throughout the body and mind, gently training all systems. So self-healing and self-regulation, the 2 keys to our health, can be optimized. So when people ask me, Debbie, what do I run? How do I set the device for this or that? Or I'm really challenged by this, what should I set it for? Most of the time, I can reassure them that the heavy lifting is all done, and we'll see more details here. Between this level 1 support and all these programs, along with the personalized programs, they do all the heavy lifting and gradually and steadily increase the strength and resilience in our energy system. The boosts are awesome. They are for short-term acute needs and symptom relief and are concentrated, but be reassured that these programs, these background programs, are quite comprehensive and really give the entire body and mind incredible support. So within the automatic background programs, we're still kind of up at the bird's eye view right now. The 24/7 Chinese body clock, which changes up every 2 hours and corresponds to a specific meridian activation, is the foundation of all HOLOS automatic program support. This includes the 7-day programs as well as the personalized programs. These meridians are energy flow pathways and govern the transfer of energy and information throughout the body, making sure that communication is, first of all, energized, then activated, and then interconnected. All the meridians have to talk to each other at a quantum subatomic level. So this is all happening, at the subatomic level by way of quantum physics. Many times we have symptoms along one of these meridians or energy flow pathways, and by energizing, activating, and or interconnecting the meridian system, HOLOS helps the body clear local energy blockages and relieve symptoms even without using the manual boost programs. So this is what I mean by the automatic backgrounds doing the heavy lifting. People can have shoulder pain, low back pain, knee pain, headaches. You can see the meridians that run through the neck, run through the shoulders, run through the knees. So when these 12 meridians, and these are only the 12 main meridians, there's many other divergent meridians, but the 12 main meridians are the governing energy pathways. And when we get these flowing and strong, many times symptoms will start gradually, immediately, or sometimes gradually fading. Now let's talk about the second part of the HOLOS automatic background programs, level 2 support, the personalized body field scanning. The personalized function is now automatic in HOLOS, whereas in our previous Gen 2C balance, for those people who are on and are not familiar with HOLOS yet, the user ran the scan every 3 weeks manually using the RedHealth app. The automatic personalized body scan is a powerful feature that customizes HOLOS to the user through a revolutionary and proprietary body field scanning technology. So what does the personalized feature do? I see, Sharon, you're talking about the C balance. And I'll get to your question and respond to you in just a minute here on your Gen 2 devices with the Bluetooth chip, which HOLOS no longer has. I chose to not have Gen 3 use an app or have a Bluetooth chip in it, so that everything on the device is native to the device. Everything runs from the screen, which is makes things a lot easier, especially because they're now mostly automatic. So there's 3 things that the unique personalization feature does. It initiates a scan on the user's body field. So in energy medicine, your energy system, which is run by quantum physics, it's also called your energy field. So when you hear me say field, it's the same thing as the energy system. And this scan uses a technology called resonance matching, which is a quantum technology. And I'll give a little bit of insight into that in just a second here. So it performs the scan using resonance matching quantum technology. During that process, it then calibrates the highest priority energy distortions of the user at that time. And then it automatically schedules additional custom energy programs that are attuned to the user from the extensive HOLOS PEMF program database, and then adds them to the 7-day automatic background program schedule. So all the programs you just saw that are part of the automatic 7-day program are combined with the personalized programs and put into the 7-day schedule. And the really amazing part of this is that they are put in order over 3 weeks of the body's preferred sequence of healing. And we'll see that in just a minute too. But the body has a very preferred sequence of healing. It has high-level governing factors. It has areas of the energy system underneath that. And then there's very deep areas. And when the scan is run and the highest priorities are calibrated, they are then ordered in that priority of preferred healing that the body prefers over 3 weeks. So as far as resonance matching, I talk to people on the phone all the time, and they say, well, you know, I have this scan or I do this scan and I don't understand the differences. And I just want to say a little bit about resonance matching quantum technology, because it's a pretty phenomenal, it's a phenomenal aspect of HOLOS, but it's phenomenal just in its nature. It's a process that involves quantum physics, and the scan is actually a quantum electrodynamic matching test. So that's what's meant by resonance matching. It involves the entanglement of a healthy body field, QED, quantum electrodynamic body field, and the user's body field. So our body field is made up of a matrix, a beautiful matrix of so many different fields and patterns of information at the quantum level. Those interact in the scan. The two interact, a healthy QED body field and the users. And the scan gathers information very quickly. This is quantum communication, happens instantaneously. Gathers information on the patterns of energy where the space resonance, and that means the space between the fields, is impaired or distorted. So the patterns are not in, they don't have the right geometry. And they're distorted, which distorts the transfer of information in the body. So it's in those interference patterns that it finds the space resonance, and it determines what is off the most, what is the most distorted energy patterns, and it calibrates those for the user, and then pulls programs out that match that from the PEMF database. So within that scan, I want to take a look here at the actual scan element. So you see HOLOS, you see the screen where you can manually run a scan when you first get the device. This also comes up automatically if you look at the device after the personalization has expired. But what's important about this screen is that these are the scan elements, and they are in the preferred sequence of healing that the body prefers. So what's critical here is addressing any kind of issue at the top level of the energy system, because if these areas are not healthy, it's very challenging for the body to self-heal, and most importantly, be able to self-regulate. No matter what it's exposed to every day, it has to be strong enough to self-regulate. So in order to address the lower, deeper levels, these higher levels need to be addressed. And that's one of the fascinating parts about an actual resonance matching body field scan. So in the top here, we have polarity and we have grounding and earthing, which are vital for energy transfer around the body. Polarity is your electromagnetic charge. A healthy person is negatively charged, which allows for optimum energy and information transfer at the quantum level. Your heart on the grounding and earthing aligns to all three of the Earth's axes, the vertical, magnetic, and equatorial axes, which is why grounding and earthing is so important. It's at the very highest level. These macro elements are at the top here, control very high level functions in the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system. And our health really relies on this important energy source of being connected to the Earth's fields. With the circadian rhythms, they're running 24/7. The programs from HOLOS are matching those exact times every 2 hours. It doesn't run every 2 hours, but it knows when to run those specific programs based on the circadian rhythm. They have the important tasks that regulate energy production during the day and night. So energy production is key. How much energy we have or how much energy we don't have basically is our vitality, how much vitality we have. And the circadian rhythms actually regulate energy production during the day and night, as well as parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system balance, and much more, because it involves all the organs, but at the high level, regulating that energy production. So for example, at night, our body creates energy from fat cells. That's part of the circadian rhythm's job. And the parasympathetic nervous system has to be strong in order to sleep well. So that's one example. Every organ and meridian is involved. You see the 15 organs here and the 12 main Chinese meridians. They're all involved at the foundation of our circadian rhythms. Every organ and every meridian runs and syncs the circadian rhythms every minute of every hour of every day. The organs actually act like batteries and also immune protectors. Every organ has very specific immune functions. And the meridian's job here is information flow and transfer, making sure information gets to the right place at the right time. So for every structure in the body, in anatomy and physiology, you have a energy field that controls that structure. And all of those energy fields are a part of these energy systems here. As we go further down the body's preferred sequence of healing, we have the deeper aspects of energetic immunity and energetic metabolism. It's impossible to optimize these deeper elements without addressing impairments and distortions at the higher levels. So for example, it would be so important when you have the HOLOS device on, let's say you just got it. The most important thing is that your energy starts coming up first. Things like mental clarity, those have to come before the body starts going into these deeper elements of correcting immunity and metabolism. That's kind of a practical example. The emotional system, which is down a little bit further here, and stress is critical to address in any self-healing journey, as the body follows the mind according to energy medicine, and stress is the #1 most degenerative factor above genetics, diet, and lifestyle. So HOLOS has many programs in its database to calm and balance stress, as well as shock, trauma, and conflict, which you see here. The scan also looks at environmental and nutritional elements and sets up personalized programs for these important aspects. EMF and stress alone create havoc in our energy systems and can affect sleep, energy, clarity and focus, as well as digestive, cardiovascular, and metabolic functions. EMF is a big concern these days. It's important to note that EMF affects the nervous system, the heart, the pancreas, and spleen the most. This is a really big topic right now. So the reason for that is they are the most sensitive to toxic radiation, those organs. So HOLOS protects the body by helping these systems stay strong and resilient. And so when the scan runs, if it sees EMF as a priority, not only is it a part of that list that we saw a minute ago in the automatic 7-day programs, but it adds additional support alongside that because your scan prioritized it for you personally. And then, of course, we have the new EMF boost that you can use on a daily basis that I think runs like around 15 minutes if you have it on high. And it's a very amazing boost program. So you've got a lot of environmental support there, in addition to the personalization and the automatic 7-day programs. So when you're looking at the 3 weeks of background programs that are attuned to you based on your scan, the first set support the very highest levels in the energy system. So we just saw in the previous slide, we saw all the elements of the scan and going from high in the system, polarity starting with polarity and ending down with nutritional and environmental. The highest levels of the energy system, HOLOS puts into week 1 of the personalized programs. These priorities in the user system relate to polarity or electromagnetic charge, which should be negative as opposed to positive for optimum health. So it starts working on changing your charge, as well as areas of energy production and metabolism, sleep and wake cycles. So that's why people, even in week 1, will start sleeping, even if just a little better, their sleep patterns will start improving. And our 24/7 circadian rhythms, and most importantly, the earthing effect and alignment, our heart actually aligning with the Earth's 3 axes. Correct alignment with the Earth's axes allows for high level support of many systems, such as nervous, metabolic, digestive, immune, circulatory, and more, through this earthing grounding effect, which actually includes in the programs the Schumann resonance. All organs are also very high level because there are battery packs. So they are also supported in week 1, where they're energized, activated, and interconnected with each other. So they're connected through the meridians. The meridians run through the organs. They help the information flow. So remember, the organs are battery packs and our immune protectors, and our meridians allow for the flow of information and transfer throughout the body. So that's week 1. We then look at week 2. The personalized programs that are added to week 2 are attuned to the user and work a bit deeper in the energy system, supporting the mind and body. So throughout HOLOS, the mind, the emotions, stress are all prioritized, because when you get the energy up and the stress down, that dynamic alone creates a huge shift in the energy system and in your body's self-healing and self-regulation ability. So they are placed into week 2 of 3 weeks based on the preferred sequence of healing. The programs in week 2 relate to all the main 12 Chinese meridians, which run through a full cycle every 24 hours. All these meridians are activated every 2 hours. What's fascinating is that each of the 12 Chinese meridians have emotional balance aspects, which are fully integrated into the personalized background programs in week 2. So if any of these meridians show as a high priority in your scan, not only is it going to energize, activate, and interconnect that meridian, which is showing as a high priority for you, but it's also going to help you shift from the negative to the positive emotional aspects that meridian controls. So the week 2 in the foundation meridian system personalized support is all about energy distortions in the body's ability to communicate and get the energy and information to the right place at the right time. So that's week 2 of the programs and its focus. And then week 3 is the deepest element of the energy system, where the personalization calibrates the areas of your energy system that relate to energetic immunity, energetic metabolism, as well as many aspects of shock and trauma that may be disrupting the energy system. Shock and trauma, if it imprints, can block the energy system completely. And it's a very, very important part of healing, as most of you probably know. So these particular programs, when it sees these deeper aspects, it adds them to week 3. And in that, the body's deeper, more complex mechanisms are supported. Sometimes people will feel emotions coming to the surface. They won't feel so emotionally well. In this deeper aspect, you can have symptoms of release, emotional and physical, because the body, when it's healing, tries to clear out what no longer serves it. And so when we get really deep, sometimes the healing journey can take, a few steps back where you don't feel so good, and then a few steps forward. And that's all about the body getting just enough energy. It takes a few steps back so that it can actually take a few steps forward. So that is week 3, and it's very, very deep. So here we now understand that HOLOS runs a scan. It sets up 3 weeks of personalized programs that are added to the 7-day automatic background program. And after those 3 weeks, an automatic scan of the user is run at midnight. So, and if for some reason somebody's not wearing the device, or it's too far away from the body for whatever reason, they can easily run a manual scan. And we're going to talk about the manual scan. So after those 3 weeks, the personalization expires. And if the device is set to default, an automatic scan, default meaning when you get it, you don't change the settings in it. It runs an automatic scan at midnight. The personalized programs will also be cleared if HOLOS is put to sleep or powered off at any time. And that is done if somebody goes into setup in the system menu and goes into power set and either puts it to sleep or turns it off. The personalized programs will also be cleared, sometimes intentionally. Sometimes somebody wants to clear them and just drop back down to the 7-day programs and not have the extra personalization programs running. For example, someone that's highly sensitive. So the body is very dynamic and it changes over time, and HOLOS needs to resynchronize with the user through this personalization process on a regular basis with a maximum of 21 days in between. You're probably wondering why 21 days. So it takes about 21 days on average for the body, in both body and mind and the emotional system, to completely make a shift. So the HOLOS device gently trains and retrains, providing the body the energy and information. The body entrains to it, i.e. resonates with it, recognizes it, takes it in. When it takes it in, it assimilates that information, goes to work correcting the impairments and the distortions in those areas. And that process lasts about 21 days. And so that's why you go from high to medium to deeper, and then you start over again. And your priorities are going to shift because hopefully your body's been strong enough to make some good changes during that time where those programs are running. If the personalized settings are cleared at the end of the 21 days automatically, or if someone goes in and turns the device off or puts it to sleep, HOLOS reverts back to the default 7-day automatic background programs of stress release, circadian balance, and or PTSD depression on its own until another scan is run. So there's always the 7-day programs running regardless of the status of the personalization. So let's see if we have any other questions yet. I don't see anything. Sharon, I'll get to you, like I said, when we're closer to the end here. Personalization, the very first scan and checking the status of it. This is just showing you that on the front of the device, when you press setup, when scan is set to 0 right here, meaning that there's no days left in the scan, or the personalized programs, the scanned personalized programs, automatically the device will show run scan. It brings it for convenience purposes to the top of the setup menu. And if you don't do anything, the device automatically at midnight that night runs the scan. And changes here, if you can see it, it says scan 20, changes the number of days left in the scan and the personalized programs to 20, meaning you're on day one. People are always like, why doesn't it say 21? Because you're on day one when you're reading that, and then you have 20 days left in the scan. So when we run our very first scan, we do it manually. So we press the setup button, we press select on run scan, and then we put the device, the screen starts flashing, scanning, and then we can put the device facing either directions in the vicinity of our heart, which is an absolutely beautiful place to get strong body field energy resonance. And the screen will continue to flash scanning until it's done. It's scanning, calibrating, internally prioritizing the scan results, and adding programs to the automatic 7-day schedule based on your priorities that scan. And we can check the status of the personalization at any time. So let's say it's been a week and we just want to check and see how many days are left. We can go to our home screen. It says scan. It'll say, let's say a week later, it'll say 14, and then it'll go all the way down to 0 before it's ready to either run a manual scan or let the device automatically scan you at midnight, which is the default. So here we see how to check the detailed status of our 24/7 background programs at any time, which of course includes the personalized programs, starting with the home screen. Anytime we can press setup, which brings us to the setup menu, press 24/7 programs off that menu by using the select button. We then get the 24/7 program menu, and we go down to status and select status, and we get the 24/7 status screen. We can view the next program to run where it says next program, NGT, the runtime of that program, as well as what day in the 7-day program cycle the device is currently on of 7. Remember that the personalized program set up by the scanner added to the automatic 7-day program schedule over 3 weeks. So all of these programs here will also include, and we'll see these in just a minute, the personalized programs. So that's how to check your personalized program status or your 7-day program status, because they're all in the same schedule. So next here, we see a list of the 24/7 programs. And this is just on the left here, this is a list of all the Meridian programs. So whenever you see these abbreviations here under next program, that is the actual Meridian programs. They all end in M. So like liver, lung, kidney, large intestine. This is not a Meridian program here. This is a sampling here, and all of them are in the user guide for the general programs. There's a lot of general programs that run grounding, EMF protection, sleep. It runs these programs at the exact times it needs to, based on, of course, hoping your clock is set right in your HOLOS. Even if the clock is completely off, people will travel all the way across the world, forget to change it. It still runs all the programs and you still get the support. It's just not exactly at the optimum time. Programs for waking in the morning, matrix calming. So our matrix is that thin layer of connective tissue that runs throughout the body, and our emotions and the mind and energy medicine is stored in the matrix. So we have the matrix calm program. recharging, night, day. There's a lot of these programs. This is a sampling of them that come and run as part of the 24/7, 7-day programs, along with the meridians. And then we have the scan program sample down here. Right now in the current software, anytime SCN shows here, that means that it's running a personalized program. Remember, it runs different ones in each week, but the name of it is SCN scan program. In the earlier releases of HOLOS, the scan programs were detailed. They didn't mean anything to anybody, but they were changed to fall under one heading later. So you may see these come up. If your 24/7 program is set to circadian balance, you'll see these come up in an earlier version. It doesn't change the program or the quality of the program, it just changed names in the software. And then if the 24/7 program on your device is set to PTSD, you may see these coming up. So there are many different personalized programs that fall under scanned right now, or under these that play out and run in the different 3 weeks of personalized programs. Next, we see here, whenever a 24/7 background program or 7-day personalized program is, whether it's 7-day or personalized, it's part of the 24/7 background programs. There's 2 ways to know what's happening at that time. First, the central yellow light right here above the HOLOS name will flash. You notice that flashes also when you run a boost program, because it's the program indicator light for active background and boost programs. So this light will flash. You may or may not catch it. You'll obviously see it if you're running a boost program, but if it's in the, sometimes you might wake up at night. I wake up at night and I see the light running. But unless you're looking at the device right when the program is scheduled to run, which we saw back here, we can check and see when that program is supposed to run. Let's say we look at the device at 10:30. When we look at the device at 10:30, get back to the right screen here, that light will be on. And if we press one of the 2 front buttons, either one, we will get a program status screen. This is available on HOLOS when you're running a boost program. It tells you the status of the boost, how long it's running for, and how far into the program it is. We can always stop anything, but this is true for all the 24/7 programs. So not only does the light come on, but the 24/7 program status screen is running. And if you press one of those 2 buttons, the screen will come on and it will show you what's going on, what's running. Okay. So I have another question. Dev, thank you so much. Let me get to that in just a minute here. He's asking for specific settings for Crohn's or IBD. Let me just say, from what we've just talked about, the large intestine meridian obviously is very involved with that. Stress, trauma, shock is involved with that. And then the whole digestive tract is involved with that. So in the automatic 7-day programs, you have all the meridian programs and you have all the general programs. You also have the personalized programs. So when the scan runs and it sees your priority within the digestive system, specifically the large intestine, but of course in energy, everything is connected. So there's many other things going on, especially stress. It will prioritize those, and the heavy lifting for any condition is the 24/7 background programs, the 7-day automatic, and then very specifically for you, the results of the scan and the personalized programs that it sets up for you. Now, if you want that heavy lifting to be stronger, you can turn up the intensity on the device, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And then I can suggest some boost programs as well. Let me get back to that in just a minute in terms of running boost programs. So this is just for general, I put this slide in here just for general familiarization with some of the elements that control the scan. These are some basic HOLOS default settings. When you get the device, it's set to circadian balance. If you press the setup button and you see the first element on the setup is auto, it's now called auto support. Just to be a little more clear, it hasn't changed at all. And auto setup is set to standard support. Whatever is highlighted on your screen is already by default set. It is set for the average person, standard support. It's not for a sensitive person. It's not going full blast on high. It's set for standard support. And what that means from the scan standpoint is that when standard support is a setting in your device, that it is automatically going to scan you every 21 days. So the support levels are the high brand new control levels that control the whole device. So you set standard support, sensitive support, or high, and you're good to go. Within that, what I'm showing you here is that standard support is set to automatically scan you. You don't have to run a manual scan. The time is also set for you. So upon shipping, the time is set based on where it's shipped. And if you travel, of course, you need to go into the system menu, set up system time set, and change the time. But it is set for you when you get it. So the intensity we'll talk about in just a minute is set to auto rotate. Scan is set to 0 because you haven't scanned. Battery charge shows. This one happened to be full at the time. Normally they're shipped about 3/4 full. That's kind of an ideal battery charge for shipping. And then within that, deeper within your setup, I just wanted to show you that it's set to standard support. If you go into this menu and you're not quite sure, what this means, it just means that it's already set up for you, that the auto support level is set to standard and it will automatically scan you. So the next topic we want to take a look at now is the intensity setting and how it works with the personalized function. And I think I'm doing pretty good on time here. Let's see, I've got 3 more screens. So we're good before we go into Q&A. And so I just want to talk about the intensity level because this is a nice way to customize the device. If you want stronger support, if you want lower support, you can control that now. You used to be able to do it also on the Gen 2C balance, but you've got deeper control now. You can control the whole device, you can control just the 24/7 intensity, or you can control just the boost. So you can change the whole device, or you can just tweak the intensity levels you want. So the 24/7 intensity level controls both the 7-day programs and the automatic programs, or the personalized programs. This is explaining, and I just put these up here so that when I'm talking about them, I have a reference. There's nothing that you have to do. This is just a chart showing you a few screens to help you understand how the intensity is already set when you get the device, and if you want to change it, how to change it. So again, when you get the device, you simply turn it on and you run scan and you're good to go. Your device is already set to standard support, and it's set within standard support, which is a high level control. It is set to auto rotate intensity. So the auto rotate allows the device to go between low, medium, and high within the automatic background programs. So that is the engineers and the doctors that first developed the program times, how long the programs run, and their intensity levels. This is allowing the ideal standard for intensity levels for all the different programs. It's preset for you, and it switches up between low, medium, and high, which is what's recommended for the average person. Comes by default set to it. If though you're sensitive, you can change the support level to sensitive support, and when you do that, that will change the intensity to low automatically. Or if you just want to go for it, like I've got some Denver Broncos on high, the entire device, you can switch to high support when you get the device, and it will switch up to everything on high, which we'll talk about what that means in just a second here. That means maximum run times, and that it goes through all 3 weeks of the personalization. So regardless of what the intensity is set to, it's very, very relative to the fact that HOLOS is very gentle and earth-based, yet very targeted and effective at targeting because of the adaptive resonant energy technology that's in it. And it runs background programs intermittently for very short periods of time. You don't put it on and it's not running all the time. So keep in mind that irregardless of these intensities, the device is extremely gentle and earth-based. Now, if you want to change the 24/7 intensity, you don't want to mess around with anything. You just want to change the intensity of the 24/7 programs. You can go in to just set up to personalize. Under personalize, you have 24/7 intensity. Boom, you're in 24/7 intensity, and you can change it up to whatever you want it to here. I put that in there just so you'd have a little flow chart here of how to get in there if you want to. This allows you to circumvent the standard support level and change just the 24/7 program intensity to a different level. Let's say you want to turn it to high and feel what that feels like. But, the boost you want to keep at medium. Then you'd go in and change the 24/7 program, bump it up, or let's say you want to drop it down a little bit. It's a little strong. You can go in there and change it to low here or to medium. So in the next screen here, this is more about the intensity and what it actually controls. The intensity controls the length of program time. So by setting it to auto rotate, which is the default, each of the programs has an calculated runtime that is for the average person ideal. And that's already set up for you, but it also controls how deep into the energy system the 3 weeks of programs run. So with standard support, the intensity is set to auto rotate automatically, and it cycles through low, medium, and high, which goes through all 3 weeks of the personalized background programs depth-wise, and it runs the programs for ideal standard lengths of time. On the other hand, if you switch up the support level to sensitive, the top level control, it sets automatically the intensity of the whole device to low, which will keep the personalized programs in the higher levels of the energy system that we saw. For example, polarity, earthing and grounding, organs, that are scheduled for week 1. It will go through week 1 in terms of the depth, and it will run the programs for the lowest run times available. So this is a nice feature where now you can simply switch the support level at the very top, and it switches all this for you. And then we have medium 24/7 intensity, which is not associated with one of the 3 support levels. It's just a standalone intensity that allows the customized programs to go through week 2, not all the way through week 3 of the personalized programs, and which work, of course, deeper, and run all the programs for a medium runtime. So different than average and different than low. But it gives you a staircase. If you start at sensitive, you might want to then change to medium if you're super, super sensitive before you go to the standard support level. Lastly, we have high support level. That just turns the whole device on high, which means the intensity is high. And just like auto rotate, it will allow the personalized programs to go through all the way through week 3 in terms of depth, which is the deepest level of the energy system. And it runs all the 24/7 programs for max runtime. Okay. Lastly here, when would you want to run an interim scan? Do you always just want to have the device set, to automatically scan every 21 days? Or are there times where it would really benefit you to run an interim scan? And the answer is yes. So whenever something is really going on, stress-wise, a major event in your life, for example, there's a loss, there's a death, there's a surgery. Maybe you feel like you're getting sick, or you already are sick. Maybe you were in the hospital, or you're in some form of recovery. Whenever you have a state of wellness or well-being that is weakened, you want to run a scan so that the device HOLOS can actually pick up very more closely and be more attuned to you at that time. So people will write me and ask me, I'm having surgery, what should I do? I say, you wait after your surgery, scan again, especially, I tell them what to use in the hospital to help with EMF, to help with pain, to help with energy, if they want the device in the hospital, and then what to use in recovery. And that's where a lot of the boost programs can really come in, setting the intensity to high so that you get deeper and longer run times. You can kind of tweak the device with this information, but running a scan in between is going to, when something has happened or when you're really feeling compromised, you want to run an interim scan just to get the device more attuned to you. It's going to pick up on the highest priorities right then, and it's going to add programs to the database to more fully support you. You don't really want to ever run it more than every 2 weeks. You want to give every set of programs at least 14 days so that the body can actually train, because it's a training process is what it is. But yet you can always, anytime something happens, scan and reattune. And if you've recently traveled by plane, long car or train ride at high speeds, your body field actually shears against the Earth's magnetic field when you're traveling at high speeds. It doesn't matter how you're traveling. It's much worse when you get up, when you're flying and you get into the ionosphere, you get into ionizing radiation. But just traveling at high speeds, if you're driving a lot, if you're traveling at high speeds, make sure you, if you're taking a trip, make sure you rescan when you get there. If you're just traveling all the time and it's not like an event or a trip, you can use the travel boost, which will really help to correct the polarity and correct the earthing and grounding that gets compromised when you're traveling at high speeds. So EMF is also a big one when you're traveling. It will pick up on that. And it will add programs to the personalized programs for you if EMF is a big priority. And of course, then you can run the EMF boost. So here we see the setup. Off the setup, this is the personalized menu. And then under the personalized menu, you see My Scan. And under My Scan, which always the name of the menu always comes up on the top left, you see Run. So you can always run an interim scan that way. Again, set up, personalize, My Scan, Run. Okay. My next couple slides here, some people are on tonight have never seen HOLOS. I'm just going to briefly, we have the Balance and the Balance Plus. The only difference in these is software. So the Balance comes with the circadian balance and stress release, 24/7 programs. Both of them come with those. Both of them have calm, sleep, ease, standard, energy acute, inflammation, tissue repair, EMF, skin aging, emotional shock, and travel boost. The only difference with the Balance Plus is that it has the new 9-week PTSD depression program and 6 additional boosts, which are Ease Advanced for advanced pain, inflammation, and tissue repair, Perform for enhanced mental and physical performance and recovery, and the new PTSD depression paired boosts of Uplift, Peace, Space, and Energy Chronic. So the only difference is software, and they can all be seen on the website on the HOLOS page under what are the differences in the Balance and Balance Plus section of that page. We do have special pricing for anybody that doesn't have HOLOS for the webinar. This is not for existing customers. Existing customers have their special upgrade discount codes. If you don't have those, please just get in touch with me on the support desk or call the support line, and I'll take care of you, help you out with that information. But for people who have not bought HOLOS and are not RedHealth customers that are on the webinar, learning all about HOLOS and the scanning tonight, you have the Save 15 and Save 22 discount codes. We always have these for our webinars. And there's payments available for people that want payments. You just use Klarna and checkout. And you can go straight to redhealthwear.com, click on menu, shop, HOLOS. You don't have to use this URL right here. And if you have any questions at all, we've got a live chat help desk always running. I man that primarily, and you can call and ask any questions that you have. But we've got some good deals going on for people who have never seen HOLOS and are interested. It's really revolutionary. The scanning technology is not out there in any wearable. It's actually working for you therapeutically. So this is very different than a lot of people who are looking at tracking devices and wellness tracking. This is actually therapeutic. So it's helping you thrive, not just survive. And the personalized scanning that we've seen today it's now automatic, fully personalized for each user. So it offers 100% automatic, optimally timed and targeted programs 24/7, and 16 manual boost programs, which are for short-term fast relief with naturally with no side effects. So yeah, this revolutionary scanning technology really is the cutting leading edge. HOLOS is the lead in PEMF wearables with its science, because it fully aligns with NASA's multi-million-dollar PEMF research study outcomes. That's all on the website. There's a page from the homepage that you can look into. It's a one page. It shows the outcomes of the NASA PEMF study. So our frequency ranges, our magnetic output, and our wavelength technology specs make it the safest and most effective PEMF wearable on the market. It comes with a 30-day receipt, firm receipt, return policy, and a 1-year full manufacturer's warranty. We have the chiropractic office that works on the Denver Broncos here. We're in Colorado. Loves HOLOS, just was going to share this with you. He loves the scanning and the personalization, the fact that it's automatic. So this is a big deal now regarding our webinar tonight, that everything is automatic. Basically, you put the device on and go, and whenever you have a symptom, you have a boost that you can press. But you don't have to worry about programming anything. The HOLOS is quite automated now. So we are ready for Q&A. And if you're watching this after and you have questions, please reach out on the website, redhealthwear.com. On the bottom right, there's a pop-up live chat help desk that runs Monday through Friday. And you can also always call the support line. We actually have people that answer the phone and answer your questions. So Denise, let's see here. I have a lot of chat and I have some Q&A. Please throw any questions you have into the Q&A. Nothing is a bad question, because I guarantee somebody else has it. And I love helping you guys with all your questions. So let's go ahead and start. Let's see. Ellen put something into the webinar chat. If scan shows 03, does that mean you have 3 days left before a new scan, or are you on day 3 of 21? Great question. So that number is the number of days left before the personalization programs finish and a new scan is to be run. Sandy, some of my people that I have been around for a long time. I'm so happy to see you here. Ellen, it's great that you're here tonight. Sandy Playstead, I always take my HOLOS off when I go to bed each night, so it looks like the automatic 21-day personalization at midnight isn't happening for me. This is true. You want to have it on you all the time because half of your circadian rhythms run at night and half of them run during the day. So your energy system needs to be supported 24/7. You can keep it close to you. 12 inches is the relative range. But yes, it's so good that you're here tonight. And what I would do is just put your device to sleep, wake it back up, and then run a manual scan just to clear everything manually and run a manual scan. So you can go into setup, personalize, my scan, and you can hit run, and it will run a manual scan for you starting right now if you want to. Make sure the time is right, your clock is right on your device, and you should be good to go. A lot of people don't like to wear the device when they go to bed. You can put it under your pillow. As long as it's within about 12 inches of your body, you're good. But it does need to be close to you if you have the device set for default, which means it's on auto scan instead of manual. Denise, I have HOLOS and just love it. And so far just using basic boost programs and personalization. Thank you for recording so I can review again to learn more. Absolutely. Thank you for being here and for such great feedback. Would HOLOS be safe to use for someone with a pacemaker? He also has screws in his back and hip replacement. He has severe nerve damage from so many surgeries and constant pain and not sleeping well. Bless his heart. I love it. I fall asleep quickly and it's great for my chronic back pain. Yes. So on our safety page, technical spec safety page, which is under support on the menu, there is a list of conditions that we have to legally tell you, check with your professional, your healthcare provider, check with your doctor. If they see the technical specs that are there, which is the frequency 1 to 100 hertz, the magnetic output of micro Tesla, and a little 3-volt battery, they will tell you there's no issue. But we have to tell you legally to check. My father has a pacemaker. He's 92. He's had HOLOS on for 5 years now. Started off with the very first one. And he's doing great. And it's actually really helped him. I've had a lot of people inquire about pacemakers. I always just tell them, show them on the tech specs page how gentle everything is earth-based this device is, and just make sure that your healthcare professional is on board. But I'm so glad that you are falling asleep quickly. That's the number one thing. Really, a better sense of well-being, lower stress, and better sleep, which of course helps everything, is the number one feedback we get. And I think the personalized programs just really tweak that tremendously. Will there be a replay? Yes, you can. We will be sending it out to everybody that registered. Zoom will do it automatically. I'm setting that up tomorrow. 24 hours after this ends, Zoom will send it out to you, so you'll get it. Yes, you're welcome, Sandy. And yes, I know you're a longtime customer. We love you. Will this be uploaded to YouTube? It will be on Vimeo, and it will be on the website under the webinars. I have never put, I'm not sure if any of the webinars are yet on YouTube, but let me make a note of that and check into that. It's not normally a channel yet, because it's been a bit dicey. The FDA is tough with holistic companies. So let me look into that for you. Yes, Denise, definitely check that page. So under the Q&A here, that was our chat. Sharon, I have a C balance, my second one since my first one failed to connect to Bluetooth. My current one also now failed to connect to Bluetooth, so I haven't been able to do the scan or change the fourth program. Is there a greater discount than the 15% in the email for a failed C balance? Yes, we have the Sharon, I'm going to write your name down and send you a message from the support desk tonight. We have special upgrades for existing customers. So anybody that's had a C-Balance or any other RedHealth device, you always get upgrade discounts. And I will send that out to you. They're really nice discounts. And unfortunately, the Bluetooth chips fail at a certain point. Each device is different. And if it fails, even within the second year, I don't remember, but we always give you an incredible deal on a second device. So unfortunately, it's frustrating. These electronic components, C-Balance one button came out in 2019 and the technology was the best we could get at that time. The Bluetooth chips were the best we could get. Now HOLOS is a lot stronger. But unfortunately, some of these components do fail, and I really try to take care of the customers. So let me get in touch with you and we can talk about this, and I can give you your upgrade discount as an existing customer. Thank you for being on tonight. I really appreciate it and love that you're here to learn, you know, how far things have advanced, and we're not worried now about Bluetooth chips, fortunately. Any specific settings you would recommend for Crohn's IBD? So I talked about the heavy lifting, any condition, is the 7-day programs and the personalized programs. What I would do is turn your device up to high support level. That is going to run all the programs in the background for max run times. And it's also going to run the boosts for max run times. That's going to be systemic, whole body mind support for Crohn's. For boost, for short-term relief of symptoms, you can use the Ease Advanced Boost, which will be on high. Run it over the digestive area, large intestine specifically. That has pain, inflammation, tissue repair, calm, and shock and trauma release. So it's a really amazing program. I would run that until the symptoms, until you see some results. Once you start seeing some results, like the pain goes down, and with a chronic disease, it takes weeks of using the device and using the boost on high. But I would use the Ease Advanced and keep it simple because it has so many great ingredients in it. Recover, the Perform Recover is also a great program to pair up with Ease Advanced. And inflammation is also, it's a backup secondary program. It only is inflammation. So if you use Ease Advanced, Perform Recover, and inflammation, I think you'll see some strong results with symptom mitigations and gradual increase, especially if the diet, the stress, those two things are super important with Crohn's. Dr. Jordan Rubin, who started Garden of Life, almost died of Crohn's. I think he weighed 83. You might look at some of his books, Dr. Jordan Rubin, Garden of Life. He went to over 300 doctors and literally almost died of Crohn's disease. And it's the story, Patient Heal Thyself, is the story of him coming back from Crohn's. So that might also be helpful lifestyle and diet wise for you. Diane Ebley, not clear if you can scan manually. Will it include the personalized programs? Yes, absolutely. There's no difference. If you scan manually versus the auto scan, it's the same exact scan. So don't worry about that at all. The only reason I brought up the manual scanning was for two reasons. One, some people put their device on sensitive and don't realize the sensitive support level sets their device to manual scan. So those people need to manually scan. The only time someone who gets the device, who leaves the default settings, needs to manually scan is if you want to run an interim scan after a very significant event has happened in your life, whether it's getting sick, whether it's a loss of a loved one. There's so many different traumas going on right now. So whenever there's an event that takes place where you feel compromised, or even if you feel like you're getting sick, run an interim scan. Can you please recap on what are the best boost settings to use throughout the day if required? So the boost, the best thing for you to do at home is to go to the website and click on support and then go to boost quick reference guide. Though that is a printable, downloadable quick list of what each boost does and what might be the best choice for you in terms of different symptoms that you're having. I don't know specifically what you're looking for in terms of relief. I always tell people that perform all. So when you hit boost, you see standard and perform on the right. If you click perform and you go into perform, you've got all, which runs all the program elements, or you've got prepare, perform, recover. That's a great boost to run during the day because it helps mental and physical performance and recovery at the end of the day. Other than that, if you can touch base with me, Deb, on the support desk and let me know other symptoms, that's a general great boost to just lift, vitality, mental focus, and sustaining energy, and then recovering afterwards. You can even use the recover at the end of the day. That's a great general boost program. But let me know what you need in terms of symptom relief. Again, the heavy lifting comes from the background programs. You can put your support level on high to increase run times on those. And then touch base with me on the website, redhealthwear.com. Just click on the little pop-up icon on the bottom right, and it comes up to the live chat. And I'm happy to help you or talk to you on the phone. Phone number here is 720-506-1144. You mentioned that I need to put my HOLOS to sleep in order to restart my personalized programs. How do I do that? No. If you ever want to clear your personalized programs for any reason, that's when you just put your device to sleep or turn it off. You don't ever need to do anything. The HOLOS device automatically clears the personalized programs. When scan goes to 0 on your home screen, that means the personalized programs are done. It clears them automatically and rescans you at midnight. The only time you ever need to put it to sleep is if you want to clear, for any reason, the personalized programs. The only time I've ever seen anybody want that is if the device initially is too strong for them and they just want to drop down to just stress release, which is one of the 24/7 automatic programs, and they don't want the personalized programs running. That's the only case I've ever seen that. What is the best boost if you feel lightheaded or like you might faint? Oh, goodness. I don't know what would be causing the lightheadedness, but I would say that's more of like a medical, not an emergency maybe, but close to it. I would say you need medical attention. If you're feeling lightheaded or feeling like you might faint, something's going on. I don't think that I can recommend a boost for that. It all depends on the nature of why you're fainting. There's so many reasons. I mean, someone could be overheated, dehydrated, there's like probably 300 reasons, but I would not be able to tell you the best boost for those specific symptoms because I feel like they're too serious and they need medical attention. It could be blood pressure. The best thing to do in any situation is to calm everything down. So if you were going to run a boost, I would run calm, or I would run peace, and get to the nature of the problem there from a medical standpoint. For the past pain in lower legs and knees, what is your recommendations? So the legs and knees, I just want to go back to the screen for just a second here. This is really important concept so the meridians run through the lower legs and knees. So we have the kidney meridian, we have the spleen meridian, we have the liver meridian, all running through the knees and the legs. What I would say is to, I'm assuming your device is personalized, turn your support level up to high and see if by running the programs for longer run times will increase the body's ability to self-heal and self-regulate with these meridians and clear some of the blockages that are in the legs and knees. But I would say take the HOLOS device directly onto the area of pain, inflammation, and run ease advanced on high intensity, which will run it for 45 minutes. And not only run it on the knees, but the nerves that come out through the legs, come out of the low back, also run it at the low back to address the nerves that run down into the legs through the sciatic nerve. If you've got pain in the lower legs, you can thirdly run it directly on the lower legs. By running it on one leg, it will reciprocate energetically to the other leg. And you will notice that if you run it like on the left leg, it will reciprocate to the right. And you'll get a little bit of relief in the right, but ideally run that on both. You can run inflammation secondarily if there's a lot of inflammation involved. And the perform recover also can be very helpful for discomfort, but ease advanced is your main go-to for any kind of pain, going to the area itself, as well as the nerve roots, which are always in the spine. So you want to get into the low back and the sacrum. Okay. Any other questions here? We've gone quite a long time over, but that's perfectly fine. I have some more questions here. Thank you for going over this important information for us. I guess I would benefit by watching, rewatching the videos on the website. Just a thought, does the device assist with nerve pain? Absolutely. So the nervous system is one of the organ systems that we talked about earlier. And the personalization will totally pick up on any issues with the nerves and start adding programs for that. There's high level support for the nervous system, medium level support, and deep level support in all 3 weeks. So as well as your 7-day automatic background programs, definitely addresses the nervous system is the root of the immune system. So it addresses it fully. Of course, you might need extra support, but I would also say that if there's specific nerve pain, use the Ease Advanced Boost there. That will really help. As well as possibly the Perform Recover, kind of play with things and see what works best for you. Yes, Dr. Rubin had quite a story. The Maker's Diet, I believe, is the book I have. Yes, that's one of his great books. The story of his healing from Crohn's is called Patient Heal Thyself. And it's quite a phenomenal book, but the Maker's Diet is amazing. It just really helps you, the nutrition health link. He spent the rest of his life focusing on, because it's what cured him. My wife and I each bought one of your C-Balance devices in June or July of 2020. Mine has stopped working and my wife can't personalize hers anymore. How long should the batteries on our devices last? Oh gosh. So batteries are unique in each device. I mean, every battery is different. Generally, it'll last for a few years. Generally, it depends on if they've been charged regularly, if they've been drained. It all depends on the care of the battery. But I'll write your name down here, Matthew, and make sure that I get in touch with you through the support desk. And the personalization, you may be able to plug in the device and personalize it, which bypasses the connection to the Bluetooth connection to the battery. It just rings at direct power to see if it's the Bluetooth chip, which it probably is. 3 years old, running every day. The battery may have gone. Those are not lithium polymer batteries like the HOLOS has. Those are the best batteries we had in 2019 in these small devices. We now have lithium polymer, but I'm happy to take care of you, talk to you, and we've got some great paths for customers moving from Gen 1 and Gen 2 into HOLOS as well, if you're interested. So I just wrote your name down and I will get in touch with you and follow up with you, Matthew. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Any other questions or chats? Hopefully I've gotten everybody here. Please don't hesitate, for those of you who watch this later, if you're still on, please, call the support line here. This is our line. It's always on the contact us page, or go to the live chat help desk, and I'm more than happy to, have conversations with you, answer questions, give information, and for existing customers, give you your upgrade discount codes if you're interested in moving to Gen 3. So thank you everyone so much for being here tonight. This is my passion, energy medicine, and HOLOS is so exciting that it's out. It's been out just a little over a year now, and I'm thrilled to have done the final foundation educational webinar. I'd love to hear from you, so please connect, and I will say goodnight if we have nothing else left, because it's getting late for people. Jane, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you everybody so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I love that you love your HOLOS. And if you have anything you want to see, and I'm always wide open for ideas on what my customers need. If you'd like, like a monthly Q&A, whatever it is that you need, if you get in touch with me, I'm looking for ideas on how to improve communication and education. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Good night. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Diane, thank you. Appreciate all the positive feedback. Very, very much. It's been a journey bringing HOLOS, and we're trying to get it out to the world. So spread the word, you guys. God bless. Good night. Thank you.